So far, the crew has cleared every hurdle naysayers have placed in their way. Columbus would be home to one of the 10 inaugural teams. Columbus has outperformed much larger cities. The true success indicator has been from the fans.
Well, it's boys' night out.
Hello and welcome to the club. I'm your host Mars, and this is the Upper 90 Club, the number one rated Columbus Crew podcast recording right now. On this episode, we are going to review the 2-1 win against bottom of the table Montreal last night. It was a nail biter, but we're also going to do all the other things, you know, where we talk about the game. We thought
about tipping that hat
to people up. Hey, Ben, welcome back. I didn't even see you there.
It's because I'm so tan.
I'll think about that. We'll read the internet about the game. We'll talk about our running for the last week about the game. We'll talk about our predictions for the game. I think somebody got 2 points. You'll have to stay tuned to find out.
I'll give you a hint. It's tip of the hat.
So with me in the club are Ben, welcome back. Mort, Trey, Haas. Say hey guys.
Hello.
Undefeated.
Hey.
Hola, ¿cómo estás ustedes?
Unbeaten.
Hey, everybody.
No losing.
No elasis.
Ben, did you lose any kids on your trip?
I did
Did you
not.
lose your mind?
Undefeated.
Yeah.
We heard some harrowing updates from you on days 1 and 2, but
Day zero.
So day one, I was in a dark place.
Oh, yeah.
It was cruising. I was on a cruise.
yeah, we didn't know where you were going.
Yeah. Well, fair play to me. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know the stops until I got on the ship.
Destination nowhere.
Yeah, destination unknown. So the one thing I did lose was my wallet day one. I got on the ship and was like, didn't have my wallet. Totally lost it. But I had one of those tiles and I pinged it and I found out where it was at GPS style. And I was like, sweet, weird. And then later, 5 days in the trip, I was taking a Duke and I was going through my photos and I saw that my oldest daughter had my like little, I wear a fanny pack because I'm a grown man.
Mm-hmm.
And she was walking with it and I took a picture of her and she had it upside down right exactly where, like I have a video and photo of her posing with my backpack, my little fanny pack upside down. So I know that's where she dropped it. Like I have evidence of it.
Oh. Okay.
Backpack and fanny pack are very different.
Yeah, and so
I've got
we're
my
to
back and my
understand-
fanny
we're
are
to
like
understand
super
that-
close.
I feel like I'm not getting much trip details. Could you tell us more about the trip?
Did you find the wallet?
Well, yeah. So I went back because it was right next to the airport is where we were staying. And when I went back, I found it. I went there and it was inside of a building. I could hear it from a place called Cisco Flooring.
What
in
type of
Tampa.
a wallet do you have that you're like?
I got a tiny little baby one, but I got it's a tile. It's like, it looks like a credit card, but it like GPS is where it's at because I lose my wallet like
Sure.
once every 6 months.
I can see that.
Well, your kids lose your wallet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
For the first time, I was like,
That's
I showed
smart.
Ashley because I was like, I told you I'm a smart man. This is not my fault. It's your fault for having the baby. But no, seriously, 3 kids and 2 adults in one room was. We were
You all stayed in one room.
Oh,
because
most
it was
definitely.
a cruise. It was a
yeah.
cruise boat.
So there was like
Okay.
our bed, and then there was 2 bunks above it, like that came over. I'll send out a
no.
picture, and then we put the baby in the bathroom as one does.
Yeah.
And we
Been
shut
there.
the door. Yeah. So it ended up being better, but those first couple of days, because the kids wouldn't go to kids club, was very bad. I was
Okay.
sending a lot of Mort called me on the side. He's like, I'm worried about you. I was like, I'm worried about me too. I'm going to jump off this stupid boat. I'm going to freak out. I can't. But they ended up going to the kids club, ended up being good. I'm just so glad to be back. So glad to be back. But I did listen to the last pod, and I did want to give a couple shout outs. I just lost my phone. But one, I do want to talk about Trey's salsa.
Okay.
Trey's salsa
There
is
you
the
go.
most delicious salsa I've ever had in my life.
It's a hot, delicious boy.
You should have my mac and cheese.
Oh, I
So-
thought you were going to say something way different there.
So can we
Lots of
can
creamy.
we market that? Like, could that?
I-
do we
yeah.
do we have a
kinda
story yet?
Thought
Yes.
about it. It's just really good. He brings it in like once a month,
Hey.
and for whatever reason, I'm like, this is the best salsa I've ever had.
The
I went to a bunch
next
of authentic.
winner.
Yeah,
Get some salsa.
The next winner. You guess 3 right, you get salsa from a random guy you never actually
In a,
Made
in a
last
bag. Yeah, sent in a bag, like a Ziploc
Just
bag.
a bag. You get 1 bag.
Okay.
Trey's
Okay,
bag
what
of
else you got,
salsa.
Ben?
What else do I got? Let's see.
It's just salsa.
Oh yeah, you guys talked about Duolingo.
Yeah.
I felt real confident after last vacation. This vacation, on the way to the boat, I met a guy named don't know, and he's from Cuba, and we did not communicate well at all. I thought I was like trying to talk, and he would just look at me and smile, and I was like, "That's what I do when I don't know what that person is saying." And it was literally like half an hour. I was like, you know.
And you were just like,
Donde
come on,
via
come
hard,
on,
donde, you know, I was
llama?
like, yeah, I was saying stuff and I was so confident. I'd look over at him and he would just, I mean,
¿A
you can't see what
dónde
I'm
la
doing.
biblioteca?
Wait,
Yeah, he would smile and go, yeah. And I was like, well, I asked, like, do you work on weekends? Do you have 2 jobs? Where are you from?
It's like today's Saturday, you dumb.
I'm just asking him the most. And I'm not kidding. As we were going to the ship, I wrote in my notes, like, under Trey's salsa, I wrote Duolingo fail. Like, I was like, well, I don't, you know, I tried it later and it worked and I was speaking pretty well. But that time I was like, I almost asked him, I was like, do you speak Portuguese in Cuba? Like, I don't know. I don't understand why you're not understanding what I'm saying. I put a lot of work into this.
Okay. All right. What else you got?
On the Cozumel day, my kid threw up, so I was in the room with the kid the entire day. So I was 9 hours in a room.
That was the motion sickness?
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure it's motion sickness. She's fine, but if you throw up on a cruise, they quarantine you for like the rest of the cruise. They don't take like any
Oh no, yeah.
any precautions. So like, she threw up, and Ashley took off, like, she had like shorts on. She took them off. She's like, all right, listen, everybody, Ruby did not throw up. Do not say Ruby is sick, because like my other 2 kids love it when everybody's sick. Like, my middle child will just like walk off the boat and be like, do you know who's sick? And it's like, no, dude. And she's like, my family's sick. It's like, no one prompted you to say anything. Like, just don't say anything.
Yeah.
And this is why I don't go on
It's like her
cruises.
favorite thing to tell everybody. But I'm back. It's good. I was able to, unfortunately, I watched the game late. I actually was able to silence like the text messages. I logged on from my phone, like, to get rid of the score on the corner, because you can
Montreal or DC?
Montreal game.
Okay.
And so like I was like, all right, cool. But the problem is I don't fly well, so I took like half a Xanax. So I was already like kind of like in the clouds when I got home, and I like the kids went down, and then I had a couple
The other
of
half of the
whiskeys,
Xanax?
like watching the game, and I was just like floating in the second half.
Xanax's fault.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was just like, oh boy.
You weren't able to form coherent thoughts after the 65th
Yeah,
minute.
so I'm gonna desperately need Trey to recap that.
Okay.
Especially the second half.
All right. Well, so and then it was home game, right? It looked miserable.
Yeah.
It looked miserable on the field. I don't know how well
I think it
the
was one of
cover is,
those 54 degrees feels like 28 kind of.
yeah.
No, I
With
got
the
the
cold rain.
temperature.
Yeah.
Well, so who went? Haas, you must have gone.
I was there.
Yeah, I was there too.
Honestly, the rain held off pretty good leading up to the game. It kind of picked up during the game, which is good because I think, like 90% of the stadium is under cover. So getting to the game could have been way worse if it was going crazy.
I actually tried Astor Garage this time, so which is right across. So that kind of worked out pretty nicely. But I had like 4 kids and Gary with me. So
Yeah, good move.
By the
get
way,
that.
I do have going to formally put in a complaint and figure out what's going on with the accessible seating at the stadium. By the way, so my friend is in a wheelchair, and we've been told we have to go in and exchange the tickets, and we weren't going to sit in the section above my tickets, which is where we generally stand.
Yeah.
And I was told that the closest place they can put him was in the Nordic accessible. And we have the kids and stuff, so we didn't want to be that far away. So we said, no, screw it. We're just going to stand on top of the stairs and or hang out at the top of the stairs.
Right.
And
Our normal
yeah,
place where we hang out, 120.
game starts. There's nobody. There's
Yeah,
not
dude.
one person sitting in the seats. I take a
Not they got up and went down to their seats.
Yeah.
They were there before the game
There
and
was
got
two
up and went down to
people
their
that
seats.
sat there that walked up and down and freely and sat down in the seat.
Walking is
Yeah.
key in that.
I
Sentence.
took a
Yeah.
picture and sent it to my rep and said, "We couldn't get seats here." And she has not responded to me also.
Man, that like 4 feet by where we stand to the railing is like the most contentious, guarded little area that we constantly battle with. It's like
They
come on, dog.
randomly choose to get protective of it.
Also,
Right.
shout out to Ben that caught on TV my daughter watching.
That wasn't me.
That was me.
Oh, those Haas. Okay,
I
thank
zoomed
you.
in.
Yeah, all right.
I'm
Haas
good at that.
catching my daughter totally like watching her watch or her friend's phone while the
Right
team is
after
celebrating.
The goal, the first goal celebration. Yes.
She was too busy TikToking her watches.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
I had 4 kids for me,
Chick
2
man.
boys and 2 girls, and I think the girls were enjoying the games and the girls were enjoying the popcorn and whatever was on their phone.
probably the OC season 2. Shout out.
Otherwise, hang out with everybody on top there is always nice too.
So y'all were able to stay dry.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So
Shout out the stadium. Good job.
Yeah. No leaks.
Oh, actually,
where we were.
Well, it was dripping over by the restrooms as normal. To be
That's
expected.
P.
The Nordeca restrooms.
That's also P.
Also dripping.
Okay. Trey, what about you?
I watched it at home, nice and dry. We had a birthday party for a 2-year-old. So that was fun. And that ended, and then the game started. So,
Yeah.
nice.
I forgot.
Warm.
I forgot about Chris Doran, and I was getting pretty annoyed. I don't remember. I think they said
It was
he
a do. Maurice Adu
Whoever
was,
was
a
doing
nightmare.
whoever
He
was
a
doing
nightmare
the
on
commentary would get like he'd be silent for like 14 minutes. And then,
Maurice
like,
Adu.
It was Maurice Adu. Okay, so he would get all like wound up, and it was just so performative, and I was like pretty annoyed by it. And then
I wonder if he's
at some
okay.
point, I was like, this is really off-putting. And I was like, oh, they're at home, and I flipped over to Chris Doran.
I saw him
Yeah.
in the podcast or something this week, and he was like totally off. He could
Yeah,
barely
I
get-
like Maurice Adu.
Yeah,
full
but he could barely get
disclosure.
a word in. It was like, is he okay? He lives in Vegas. I mean, anything can happen.
Oh, yeah. Barry Manilow, man.
Yeah,
Mm,
Tom Jones.
Barry
Wayne
Manilow.
Newton.
Did I already say that?
Britney Spears. I don't know.
that's what I was thinking. Grateful Dead,
The
Sphere,
Sphere,
Yep.
gambling.
Def Leppard.
Sphere.
Hookers,
What
We
else
could go
got?
on.
Bunny Ranch.
Bunny Ranch.
Randy Quaid, Nick Papagiorgio
Yep.
from Yuma. All right,
Blue Man Group.
let's
I lost one.
let's
Reno.
get into our recap.
Facts that could save your life.
Saturday, April 5th, 2025, back in the friendly confines of lower.com, the crew faced off against Club de Foot Montreal in front of a reported 19,671 crew faithful. The weather was a dreary 60 degrees at kick and wet, wet, wet. Ponchos and rain slickers were in abundance as the fans enjoyed watching another evening of statistical domination as Columbus held the advantage in all of the offensive categories. Possession with an overall advantage of 56 to 44. Total shots. Shots on target. Big chances. Accurate passes. Corners earned. Shots in the box. Shots out of the box. Touches in their box. Accurate passes in both halves. And I would be remiss to not mention what everyone is here to hear all about. The important useless stat, XG, where the crew led in all 5 XG categories, including total XG, with an advantage of 1.56 XG to 0.49 XG. Pause. Hit us with those lineups.
The crew started with Rossi and Jason Russell Rowe up top. Arfston, Shambo, Jackson, Zawadski, and Farsi across the middle. Amundsen, Chaberko, and Marrera in the back, with Schulte in goal. Nagby did not make the bench, still on the mend from his injury.
This was we said last week it was a contact injury.
He was
that right?
practicing. He
Impact.
was doing alternative practice, which means if it's knee and he can do that, that's probably a very good sign.
Practicing like
Yeah.
pogs and checkers.
On the way
and
back,
stuff.
just wasn't ready for the game.
Okay.
All right. 11th minute. Oz.
Goal for AZ. Crew start in their own half with a free kick at the edge of their own box. Chaberko, Amundsen, Zawadzki, and Arfsson all get quick touches on the ball, and Arfsson drops a pass back to Amundsen, who crosses the ball forward and centrally to find Jason Russell-Rowe in space in the center circle. He settles a bouncing ball with his chest, lets it bounce once, lobs a ball over the top as AZ's making a run past the Montreal back line. He also uses his chest to bring it down to his left, away from Waterman. As he's moving into the box, he lets the ball bounce a couple of times and chops a shot with his left between Waterman and Sirois off the far post and into the back of the net. 1-0 Crew, AZ's first goal of the season.
Looks
It
like
was a good assist. It was a good goal.
Looks
Yeah,
like we
it was
learned
a
something
good
from
write-up,
DC.
too.
Yeah.
Lots of
Which
bouncing
side
and
of his
chests.
chest is what I would ask.
All right. 17th minute. Alexander Guboglo.
Pronunciations brought to you by the idiots of Upper 90 Club.
All right. 26th minute. Hawes.
Goal for Jason Russell-Rowe. Crew win the ball back from a brief Montreal possession, and Chaberko stands on the ball at the defensive side of the center circle. He passes to Chambeau, who is playing in the back line currently due to Moreira playing forward. Chambeau slips a pass forward to Moreira, who is able to receive the ball and turn on his defender, takes a touch forward and plays a ball through to Jason Russell-Rowe, who rips a first-time shot with his right from just inside the box, goes over a diving Sirois and into the far side of the net. 2-0 Crew. Jason Russell-Rowe's third goal of the season and Moreira's team-leading second assist.
Wow. That shot was sick.
That was
Yeah,
a
it
good
was really
finish.
good.
I throw some JRR shade.
Yeah.
That was a good goal. That was
Yeah.
a real good goal.
He's good at that finishing.
Man of the
part.
match.
All right, 32nd minute. Montreal with the goal called back after a VAR review as Caden Clark was shown to be in an offside position when the ball was tapped onto him before his shot passed Schulte, which was a very good shot. So we go into the half with the Crew up 2-0. Coming at a half, Montreal with the double sub of Alvarez for the aforementioned Waterman and Bugaj for Guboglu.
Yeah.
Ding. Ding him twice for that one.
All right, 50th minute. Oz.
Goal Owusu. The Crew are passing around in tight space, and Zawadzki's pass gets knocked away by Clark to Loturi, who passes a quick ball through to Owusu near the half line. He tries to get around Chaberko and Zawadzki while running forward, passes a ball centrally to Clark. He has time to turn, dribbles forward, and shoots from distance. The shot goes off the post and straight to Owusu in the box, all alone. He stops it, shoots with his left past a second dive from Schulte and into the side netting. The offside flag comes up, but it ends up going to VAR, and it's determined that Owusu was onside when the initial shot was taken. Moreira was caught ball watching on the initial shot, which allowed Owusu in free.
Yeah, and Schulte had a little extra confusion there. If he had like a tenth of a second, really little faster knowledge of where the ball was, he probably could close down the distance a little bit and have a better chance of saving that.
Yeah, but it was like off the post,
and he
immediately
turned
to his
around.
foot.
Yeah,
Which
no,
he
no,
dove
I
at. He
understand
dove
that.
at the first shot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
no, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
But I
So,
was like, man.
66th minute. Caden Clark earns the yellow card for reaching around and yanking of Diego Rossi.
Dude.
He didn't.
Dude,
He didn't even try and reach
We
the ball.
said it earlier. You got to card him.
Yellow card on that.
Did he?
I was going to give him a yellow card.
31,
on the-
31 minutes,
Turned
45.
him.
That is
Yeah,
premeditated
31
too,
minutes.
you know that.
Didn't
Yeah,
even
31 minutes, 45 seconds.
All right.
Yellow card issued to Trey. Proceed, Trey.
See how this rolls. 70th minute. Crew with the sub as Taha comes in for AZ. 82nd minute. Montreal with the goal, tying up the game. But wait, we have another VAR review, and Laturi is shown to be offside as the ball is played on the cross to him. 86th minute, both teams with subs as Duke comes in for Clark and Cesar Ruvalcaba enters for Steven Moreira.
I'll allow it.
Because that's his name.
Yeah, that is his name. Not what was said last week. 89th minute, Petrasso earns a yellow for Montreal. And 90+4, Samuel Assman Piet earns a yellow for tucking in a shirt too tight. Oh, sorry. I was, yeah.
We didn't
He
talk
should
about
start
Piet
on a
yet.
yellow card. Yeah, I was waiting.
He earned it for assault on a teenager as he completely took out Taha Habrun. So that ended the
He was
game.
on an island out there. Epstein's Island. Proceed.
I mean, he was taking out Farsi.
I'm assuming they all took it on the island, though. That's my bet.
Oh, I got to.
Yeah.
Mugatu.
Columbus,
Malaysia.
Columbus earns the hard-earned home victory with the final score of 2-1. This improves the Crew to 4 wins, 3 ties, and no losses on the season. Columbus has jumped up to second in the standings in the East, only behind Miami, and only behind Vancouver and Miami in the Supporters' Shield standings. The next match will see Columbus face off against the Puppy Chow Rags of St. Louis on Saturday, 4/13 at 7 p.m. away in St. Louis.
All right.
Speaking of only behind, so
Aren't
I
we in
did
front
want
of
to talk
Miami?
about Piet. When they
Did they lose?
they showed him at
Tied.
the beginning of that game, and then they cut to AZ. They look like different. Like AZ looked like he was the little stacking doll that you could fit inside of. It's just crazy, man. He
should have been on a yellow.
There's
a lot
no
earlier.
reason.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
for it.
from
There is
early on.
none.
And for those keeping track, what was it? They played a back 4. 3 of them had yellows in the first half, right?
Yes.
I think 2 of them.
Ended up
Those
getting
are the 2
taken
people
off.
they subbed off.
Yeah, at half. I mean, we were
Correct.
eating them alive in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I wouldn't have said it like that.
He also had, I mean, it was the head injury right at the end of the first half. So
Yeah,
whether
it was
he
a
got
head
subbed off-
injury.
he
also
got hit
sucks.
straight in the temple on the shot from Rossi.
Shirley Temple.
They looked at him at half, and he didn't come back out. So.
Yeah. They're like, follow this line. Also, you're sucking. You're out.
Is there a Cirque stat this week?
This is Steve Cirque, and this is a Cirque stat.
All right, so we got a few. We have a few stats. The one from Cirque is a VAR game summary. Montreal, you scored. Wait, no, JK, LOL. Montreal, you didn't score. Wait, no, JK, LOL. Montreal, you scored. Wait, no, JK, LOL. I don't remember seeing anything like this where we had 3. I mean, they scored 3 times. And the call on the field was flipped all 3 times from VAR. I can't remember seeing something like that.
It's got to be
before.
a first.
Yeah. The thing was, though, because, we'll talk about the second half here in a bit. But I will say, like, honestly, on all 3 goals, I was like, that guy was wide open. There's no way he's not offside. Like, that's just what went through my head. And it's like, they scored. He's obviously offside. It's like, yeah, the back line actually did a good job of holding that line. It's just that second one where they actually scored, I was like, oh, he was wide open because it was weird. It went off the post.
Did
and
anybody
we
see
weren't
what
paying
happened to the ref? Because he was looking like Rudolph. I mean, his
Something
nose,
was going on.
yeah.
with
his nose was
yes.
bright
Yeah.
red and bleeding. And
Well,
had
he
it
was
stuck,
out in the
like-
rain, man. I mean,
attention. That's right. He was wearing a nose thing. I noticed that. I was like, did he get punched?
Yeah,
I don't know. I
Maybe
mean,
he just reacts to the cold weather. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like a wet.
Irishman?
Yeah.
Okay, we
We
also
had a drink
have
at half. I don't know.
we also
racist
have Rob
Irishman?
Crew PR,
It's Bobby Puerto Rico.
longtime listener. He says with 2 goals already tonight, the Columbus Crew possess a league best 45 regular season multi-goal matches since 2023. Miami's in second with 42.
That's since Nancy took over, essentially.
Wild.
Yeah, they said that on the broadcast or something similar. I don't know. Multi-goal matches.
Multi-pass.
That, you know,
I mean-
used to talk about that 1-0.
Yeah,
Good
that's
point.
we're a highly offensive team, but like this season, have we had multi-goal games in most of our games?
Every game we've won.
Yeah, still.
Which
feels
is
like
3
not,
or 4?
Yeah.
4?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay. All right, go Crew. No, hold on. Wait. And also we got one from MLS Communications.
You're staying.
You heard my handiwork on the
Much
on the
appreciated.
Sting last week.
I told everybody I almost fell off the
treadmill.
I was going to say escalator, but I don't know what
a
treadmill's called
When you
anymore.
told me that, I went back and listened to it. It just sounds like it doesn't sound like I thought it would in my mind. But anyway, from
sounds
MLS
like-
Communications, with a win in his 75th regular season match as Columbus Crew head coach, Nancy tied Bob Bradley with LAFC and Bruce Arena with New England for the highest winning percentage in MLS history, .66, which is 66%.
0.006
by
away from
a
666.
coach in his first 75 games with the club.
Yeah, and I would asterisk Bob Bradley LAFC because I think the team
Why?
that he was coaching was
That's when they were first in the
$400
league.
million or something like that.
So
That's when LAFC was
Like
almost
saying Pep
was
Guardiola.
that was the Miami at the time. Almost, it felt like
Yeah.
that.
Still, no. I mean, I respect Bob Bradley as a coach. Same thing with Bruce Arena.
I don't. He
But
coached.
more
He
so I
coached my team.
respect Nancy.
He coached my
Yeah.
team in
Yeah.
Norway to relegation. So yeah, he did great.
It's going down with the ship, Titanic style. I'm a boat boy.
The boat.
Bruce Arena, however, looks like he knows how to coach. Look at San Jose.
San Jose is ripping through teams.
cooking. Literally.
I didn't realize that he ended up there. Okay.
Is that the 6-1 win? 6-2, whatever the hell it was.
Who
Was that
cares?
San Jose tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be right trap.
Have you or a loved one been affected by the Columbus Crew? Do you wish that there was a space to talk about all things crew and capybaras? Well, you're in luck. We here at Discord Deck have built a home for crew fans near and far. We have more than just crew discussions and are more than just crew fans. We have a book club, MLS Fantasy League, and much more. If you'd like to join our weird little family, then go to our website, discorddeck.soccer, and click on Join Server, discorddeck.soccer.
Side effects may include giddiness, excitement that lasts longer than 2 hours, weird night cult, and strong opinions for the color purple.
Okay, we're back. So we're gonna get into the next thing. I did hear them before I switched over to man, I lost it again. Chris Doran.
Yeah.
I did hear them talking about the kind of understood. They asked Nancy about Courtois leaving and
Being fired.
what he thought about, or right. Yeah, being fired. And what he thought about it. He said, that's Montreal.
Yeah.
It was
Absolute shade.
Yeah. I told Lauren, I said, oh yeah, they fired Courtois. And she said, pourquoi? I said, poor quality.
4K.
I didn't realize that the owner named the stadium after himself.
Yeah.
Until Trey said it
where
last
have you-
week.
Oh yeah, Trey says.
Where have I been? I don't know. On a Caribbean cruise.
Oh yeah,
On a
we
boat?
talked about it last
We
week.
have
talked-
we have said this probably for 2 years. But
Yeah, but we've been talking about
Stat
it.
Saputo. It's
Yeah,
probably
we've
my
talked about
favorite stat about Joey Saputo.
I mean,
Dude,
I think he also. I
Your
think
favorite stat?
Didn't Nancy also say like he knew what he was getting into?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Let's do our thoughts and players.
Thoughts and players.
All right. Where you guys want to start? Morera is back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Captain Morera.
Capitan.
And I think that's actually an important thing to talk about is that he captained Morera after coming back from, because if you remember, like, yeah, he was injured, but he also kind of got taken out early because of poor performance. The past couple of performances have not been great from him. And we were saying, I mean, at least before, oh shoot, this would be like 3 weeks ago or
You're
something.
talking about C3 against LAFC. He was back.
Yeah, like Ruvakala
Yeah,
came in and he looked awesome, and we're like, yo, maybe like I think we're good. We have the people back there. Like,
But what
Well,
is
who
it
would
about,
the people that were plugging and playing were playing
yeah,
well
but
enough where it's like,
what is it about Nante's system that like this is, and I'm not trying to be hateful, but this is the best performance that we can get out of these teams. There are points in these games where we do not look good, and it's been the same thing over the last 2 years, year and a half.
No,
And I don't know if it's a 3 in the back thing. I don't think it's a personnel thing because it happens with whoever you put back there.
I think a part of it is the problem with this game after first half. It was 2-0, and it felt like the question was how many at that point. It almost felt like how many goals. I predicted 4-0. I said I might have gone too low because I felt like
I thought the same thing.
Yeah, I think I went too low. The problem is in this system, the second you hold back and play it safe, we had some example in the second half where Farsi held the ball, there was no overlap. Or there was one of the midfielders. There was no overlap. We just knocked it back, and then it ruins everything if we don't have a mentality of going forward. If we don't have the mentality going forward, we don't create anything. We don't have like a simple over the top, or we try to hit Benteke on the long ball and knock it off him.
We've been playing Route 1 a little bit
Yeah,
more.
we
played it a
but-
lot this game.
Yeah, we
wait,
did that,
hold
but
on.
it's building through the runs that coming through though. The
The
runs are
nature
coming
of
through.
defense, though, is that you're not going to be going forward all the time.
No, but my point is if you get passive and you give up the ball and you don't create and put the other team under pressure, they will grow into the game, which in this case Montreal did.
I think what I was referring more to, and I agree with that, except for watching the 3 in the back, they seem to be lost at times, especially the Caden Clark goal that was
Yeah, I
back.
agree with that too.
They don't seem to know or trust that the person next to him is going to step up and mark the player. And so you have constant 2 players stepping up to mark 1 player, leaving whoever open for a shot. And I saw it at least 3 times in this game. And I'm really happy to see Moreira come back because, I mean, you get him and Chiberico, and the personnel is not a problem.
Going forward, Moreira was...
They're fine. Going forward, and
like,
when they're on the press, they are
really
fine.
good.
But when they are being pressed or countered, or they're defending in their own box, and there is 4v3, they're making the wrong choices in terms of who they're stepping to and who they're trying to block.
Moreira was up top for a little bit there. And toward
on
the
the
end of
left
first
side.
half.
Yeah, they mentioned it. They're like, and he's playing left wing. He's a right back. Keep that in mind.
Well, they
were
mentioned it
playing.
right as we scored, too. They were talking about it,
Yeah, I think that was when he played
so
through the JR.
More, go ahead. I know you have something to say.
The other thing about that is who was playing middle was Shabirko, right?
Shiba.
We had this discussion last week. I think the better option there right now, obviously Savatsky is better there. I think with Nagby out, and then we had to put him in the midfield as a part of that because I don't know if I trust Shabirko. He has had games back there where he has been really good, but Savatsky has played back there a bit, the player of the game, a couple of.
I thought Chiberico was fantastic.
Dude,
this game.
Chiba was all right. So
yeah, but I'm talking about the whole backline. You have to own the backline. Individual is one thing, but have to leading the whole backline. And if we're saying we have an issue with the back 3, there's somebody in charge of that, right?
All right, so
that's where Camacho is kind of the guy, right? He's kind of the boss.
Kind of. So I would argue that 2 of their goals were offside because the back line stepped and we're on the same page.
That's fair.
So that is good.
You're talking about a half a foot though.
That's a good back line.
Sure. But all right,
it
the
wasn't
other
bad.
thing I would argue that I think that we're not talking about is, so when we talk about Nazi system or whatever during the game, we're like, oh yeah, offense. I think we actually do worse. Like, I think when they counter, we do better when they step to the ball. It's when they have possession and build out of the back where we struggle getting our lines and our players tight to the play, like to the other team, as the other team has the ball, has possession for like 5 minutes. I don't think counters. I'm willing to say I don't think the goals came from counters. I think the goals came from possession from the other team breaking us down. I think we are more susceptible.
Time out. Hold on. I want to piggyback
on.
I want to piggyback on that right now. In 7 games, how many goals do you think Montreal has scored?
4
Yeah,
goals.
we know.
Four-
We talked
four-
about it. There was
four,
2
something
goals.
like that.
3
And you're
before
talking
this.
about them like they're the most dangerous team in the league, about how they
But-
broke
but-
our defense down and all this. And we're talking about a team that hasn't been good.
Trey, I
and
will also
hasn't
say
been
one
scoring.
thing. Who has led in the fewest goals in all of the Eastern Conference?
Not us.
Yes, us. We have letting five. We have
No way
letting
to find
5
out.
No way to
goals.
tell.
We have letting 5 goals, and the next one is Miami with 6 goals.
Dang. And well, they also have
2
like
fewer
a
games.
game or 2 in hand or something like that.
No,
So-
no, they don't. Everybody's on the same, or Miami's a
They've
game.
got
below
one game.
us.
They have
got one
Miami
game.
has one
Yeah,
less
whatever.
played.
So Moreira coming back, though, I will
They
say,
played today.
offensively, I thought he played, he was a step up from every other back 3 person that we've had moving forward.
Well,
Like
and
I
Yes.
think I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that
I agree
I
with
think
that.
he is that's the reason why I believe he won defensive player of the year, but was because of his offensive ability.
That's
Yeah.
about
Which
why him and
makes-
Alba was on the list. That was kind
I
of
was-
similar.
Well, it's
I have no
Yeah,
issue with the
exactly.
personnel. The
the
personnel
combination
is-
It was
of
good
him
to
and
have him back.
Farsi, the combination of him
yeah.
and Farsi on the right side was fantastic.
and
Can be-
that's the next person who came back was Farsi, who was
Dude,
out last
I
week.
think we
Let's
missed
talk
both
about
of them
Farsi.
significantly. We had people that fit in and played well while covering for our starters being gone.
Abdurraqib has been great.
Also, a reminder why Farsi is still in the MLS is the fact that, again, he should have a goal and doesn't
Yes.
score the goal.
Yes.
He put himself in some.
But he's
he
in
should have had
good positions.
He is good position,
Yeah.
but if he starts scoring those, he is a really,
he's
really,
gone.
really,
He's not on our
probably
team. He won't-
gone.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Although I will say the same about Rossi in this game. Like he also should have had like Rossi's
yeah.
XG was like 3, Farsi's was like 3.2. I mean, they both should have put away. We should have put away this team
In the first half.
way
in
earlier.
the first
Yeah,
half,
like-
I thought we should
yeah.
have had 3 or 4.
Man, that one where Farsi just tapped it by him. I thought it was just going in just the pass to the corner. He missed by like 2 feet or something like that, where he got in behind the back line.
It was very early in the second half. It was the first minute in the second half from Arfston had the through ball, I think.
And so Moreira being back, great. Farsi being back, even better. His defense at the end of the game, his hustle to close down the back line in like the 88th minute, not letting them just like progress up. Like remember the Porter days where they would just like, all right, cool, man, pack it in the last 10 minutes. And it was just like they would start, like in our third. Farsi and fair play to like Russell Rowe too and Rossi like tracking people down. They would not let them just march the ball up the field. I think he won a couple throw-ins towards the end of
We only made 2 subs in this game. That Herrera's not coming in the way he's been playing is insanity for me.
Yeah, again, result is a win. Cool. He gets to rest. Cool. We brought in Taha, which
he needs to.
I don't have him on the dock, but I actually would.
He played well.
There is a part of me that's like, man, take 5 or 6 games, start him, and let him get 75 minutes, at least 70, and just see where he's at in 6 games. I have a feeling that if like he gets that confidence, kind of like a la Max Arfston, before he is tired from all that travel, he's disgusting.
Man,
like he is a legit like okay, cool. We don't need necessarily to like buy a multi-million-dollar DP. I think his ceiling is, we haven't seen it yet, but like give him more than 20 minutes.
We saw AZ's first goal of the season.
AZ played awesome.
By the way, the chant now is they made it clear when they said, when I say A, you guys say Z at the stadium. So now we know how to deal with celebration for AZ.
Should still be the Britney Spears chant.
I know. Haas was singing that during the game, by the way.
You've been talking about Britney Spears.
I know. It's like the
I
second
was.
Britney Spears. Did you say Britney Spears when we were
Oh,
talking
Vegas?
about the sphere? Earlier?
Oh, instead of crazy? I
Yeah,
never put that
AZ,
together.
yes.
Really?
I was singing that with you, Haas. I
It's
was.
so good for a chant. I'm
Yep.
telling you.
All right.
In too deep.
You'd have to change some words. But
Did he?
No.
Did he play awesome? I still feel uncomfortable with him.
He played.
I'm
better.
glad he scored.
Yeah.
He freaks me out, man. He seems like a total personality vibe.
He had
risk.
moments where he looked good and moments where he looked like he was spazzing out a little bit.
But he didn't have
Can't
any
say
moments
that
that were
anymore.
just
Also,
like bad,
Piet-
like giving the ball away.
was all over him with that ass. He was,
No, dog, you're
him and
completely
Piet
correct.
over like the first like 15 minutes had like 4 interactions where Piet would take him out every time.
The fact that it took him that long to card Piet against AZ alone is bananas.
Fupa.
I know you don't want to give a card out, but man, like, yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Well, that's because the ref and Piet have the same style.
Tuck.
Tuck it in.
Yep. He kept backing that AZ up. It was okay. So they also had a stat.
No crickets.
All right, thanks. They had a stat that they mentioned. We haven't scored past the 65th minute, and I said at the top that this was a nail biter. But we also said, and both things can be and are true, that we should have scored, 8 goals. Like, how did this happen? I mean, it was an anxious last half hour.
Yeah, it felt again, and I
mean, more you were with 4 kids at the end of the game.
Yeah, I feel like we
and he
talked
left
about this
during that half hour.
No, don't cut that. Don't sell him out.
I know. I would own that. We left to the 80th minute, and I touched my kid a thing, and this was because he was mad about leaving, and I said,
Good.
when it's 80th minute and you're up 2-1, best case we get another goal. Worst case, the other team scores, and then you have a bad day. So let's just walk out. As we are walking in because we were parked across the street for accessibility, we hear like the something
like,
happened.
I told you.
Yeah, and I was kind of like, see, nothing good happens. And we got to the car. It's like, oh, it's still 2-1. Like. Some of them
It's like nothing good happens past midnight.
And then I had to listen to the kids, doing the play-by-play from the backseat for the rest of the trip, and it was awful.
Yeah, whatever. Win, whatever.
But I got home early.
Sorry,
but
that's my
not
fault.
Scoring past the 65th. Is
let's talk about that.
Yeah, like you would assume if it's, especially recently, we've only won games like by 1 or tied. You feel like games would open up, and that's kind of where last year we would just be like, okay, cool. Now we win 4-1.
Foot on the gas.
Yeah, it's like
foot on the gas.
We would have that finishing power, and we bring Taha in for AZ. While he did play well, it's not that we don't have that guy to put that stamp on the game. Like, bam, game over. Sorry, dude. Or even the top 3. It's still again, undefeated.
I saw him taking, but it's just it's a different vibe. I saw him spend a little time taking the ball to the corner toward the end of the game, which was like
an 81. I saw that too.
And I can't remember seeing them do that in the last couple years.
This is a symptom of where getting the DP is important, because the games we have tied, or the games we've been trying to get back, trying to get the goal in the end, we don't have it where we have a little more competition. Playing at San Diego, which is a really good team now, right? I watched the other game again. They look really, really, really good. We don't have a difference maker we can go to get that late goal. How many times do we see Kucher running down to the corner after finishing off and winning the game for us in the 80th something minute, right?
Remember that time that I didn't say Cucho first? Just saying.
The other thing is we haven't maybe played this strongest schedule, to put it mildly.
Agreed.
And
we're
meaning
going to
that
talk about.
So meaning that if we were in the lead, we played safe, we got the goal, and in the games we were tied, we didn't manage to get that late goal, and there's some of the other teams tuck in. No pun intended.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but
we
we can't break them down.
This is a symptom of a bad bench.
Yeah, no depth, right?
Right.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
It's not necessarily yes, we don't have the DP. Bench, if we had the DP, it would be pushing who we're currently starting to a bench, and that would be our second option. We don't have the players coming off that are impact players.
A complete lack of a bench.
Right.
Yeah.
They're just standing
in the
there.
most literal
They're
sense.
just standing on the sidelines.
Yeah,
There's
and I
nowhere to
noticed.
sit.
I noticed Lappilainen now.
Crisscross applesauce.
Lappilainen is back to being injured now. What did he do? Like get splinters in his butt? What?
I thought he was on his way back.
Yeah, no, he,
Yeah,
he was.
I
He was
saw
on the
that. I was
bench. He was on the bench the last game, and now he's out injured.
He must have gotten he must have run into the fourth official or something. Got hit by the sub board. Yeah.
Good one.
I like that, Trey. I like that.
It's a hot take. Yeah, I like that take.
I do want to move along, but I think you're right. Because what I was thinking was, we're running out of gas. We can't produce. But I think you're right.
Well, Russell Rowe is starting. He does coming off the bench.
Right. That's right. All right. Let's read the internet. All right, first up, hey, look a turtle, 88. 88, I see you.
I saw a turtle yesterday.
We went Grand Cam in the turtle
I saw
spot.
one on a golf course, though, like in the wild.
In the wild on a golf course?
Playing golf in the rain?
Where they live.
Great Cayman
yeah.
Island
Reproduce.
apparently is not considered
Played golf in the
nature
rain.
or wild.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is now second derivative here, but I want to just remind you guys, right before I moved to Nashville, I'm thinking about a time that I saw a turtle at a golf course. Right before I moved to Nashville, do you guys remember we bought the municipal golf passes?
I do remember
we
that.
played a 4-day tournament around Columbus where
City
we
of
played
Columbus
4 rounds
Scramble.
of golf, like a golf tournament, but we played at airport and where else? There were
I only remember
Champions.
the airport. Yeah,
we played Champions. We played. There was one that was kind of zhuzhy out east. That was that was the last day.
It was nice. I just remember the airport always because I'm gonna hit that plane.
Yeah,
there's the one out
Every single
west.
time.
It used to be called Bolton Field. I can't think of the current name of it. It's
Mental.
next to Mental.
Mental.
Yeah, but
Mental
Mental, and then
Memorial.
the last one.
Mental's
I
pretty
think
good.
the last one was
It's a
out
fun
east.
course.
It wasn't it was
Turnberry.
yeah
In Pickerington. Yeah.
yeah Turnberry. Anyway,
That's a good course. That's
we
right
saw.
by where
I have some golf
Down
course
the
turtle
hill.
pictures on my phone from that.
Down the hill.
Thanks for doing that. I'll remember it
golf
forever. I haven't
course
played golf
turtle
since then.
pictures.
Yeah.
How are you not flagged? How are you able to fly?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Man, what were we talking about? Oh, hey, look, a turtle, 88. It's I think that's...
Hey, look. All right, so that was not our fault. That's his fault for or her.
Their fault.
Do turtles have genders?
You did this to us.
Yeah, both of them at the same time. That's how they can reproduce.
Okay.
I think
all right,
Mort's
let's get
Googling
to
it.
it.
All right, go ahead.
One. There's many points made by Hey Look at Turtle 88.
Yeah,
Number 1, 3 points are 3 points.
Facts.
Number 2, really
Yeah,
nice
facts.
to see JRR and AZ work out. Some finishing issues, I think, have still been a concern. Number 3, you guys can react in real time here. That second half was pretty rough. It's a compliment to them. They gutted it out, but any thoughts there? Okay. Number 4, a better team than Montreal probably ties or wins that game.
Yep.
But that doesn't matter because it was Montreal. We can only play who's in front of us.
Or behind us.
All right. That is something that I
We
do
just
think is
talked about
asterisk.
that, though. What do you mean? Get out of here.
Was a better team than Montreal. So Montreal,
any team,
is not
Every
a
team.
is not a terrible team.
They're worse. They're last place, man.
They're a horrible team.
Statistically.
Mort's back.
Mort's
Morton's comeback.
By every measure
I keep
of,
looking at
they're bad. They're not good.
Nice.
Stop trying to make
again.
them.
You can
They
only
played well
play
against
the
us.
teams that are in front
They
of you.
played
Cool.
well against us, but what does that say?
What I would say is there's a lot of
I don't-
parity in this league. I think teams are there is not this like insane discrepancy between teams, and I also want to point to LAFC at home during C3. LAFC is awesome, and we literally beat the crap out of them. And that first half, like the second half was tough, but I would argue that if we played the first half against any team in the MLS, we put up 2 goals minimum. That's my opinion. I think I think you, and I think that also.
Are you
harkens
arguing
back
if
to,
we're good or if Montreal's bad?
No, 3-point is 3-point. I agree with that.
I think we're good.
I think number one.
I think this game was a typical thing of we're steamrolling this team. We took just a little bit off the pedal.
Yes. Yeah.
And the other team is motivated. They're like lost their coach. They want to make a good appearance and like
Lost?
and
Fired.
well,
and also
They didn't lose him.
Yeah, and shout
got
out
rid of him.
Soccer Wise because they actually did a whole thing on this, but they hired his quote unquote assistant coach, that guy, I can't remember his name,
Right, because it was probably
Montreal,
the cheapest option.
to actually
Don
take
Donnell
over
and
for
Don,
him.
yeah.
They wanted
like-
him to actually coach the team. So that was like the writing was on the wall at the beginning of the season. So this guy
for
has been
$50
molding
a
this
game.
team since, basically been the head coach since the start of the season.
Okay,
Like,
back to
wasn't
what
the-
this
Yeah, so
turtle
number
person
5.
said.
Number,
Yeah, keep
number
going.
5.
Okay, we won.
Forget Cleveland. Defense plays like that in 2 weeks. Miami are putting up 4 to 5.
Disagree.
100%.
Completely disagree with that.
We're racing to the occasion against big teams.
Our defense is what?
Oh.
did we
It's the
say
best.
in the
We
league?
got a better
What did you
defense
just-
than Messi.
What score did you just reference in LA?
3-0.
Is that
when
what it-
we won?
No,
when
when
we
Rivera
lost
was
in
bad.
C3.
Yeah,
What was that score?
Who cares?
it's a different. It's
3-0
actually it's
or
a model
0-3.
that fits them better. The
Right.
transition play with LA, and it was
And
our
Miami-
by the far the
Miami's
worst performance.
So much better. Miami's going to pick us apart in the back if we don't.
No,
get it
no.
together.
LA is not even that great of a team this year. That was just the one-off
Mort's
game.
wagging his finger.
This is the one-off game where we were absolutely horrible. That first game against LA was that one-off game, and they got more than they deserved in that game too. I would argue that they maximized their what do you call XG that you like to
XG.
talk
yeah,
about.
Bawanga.
Yeah.
Bawanga got.
So I
he
think they
scored
got
all
more than they
times that he
deserved
got
on
the
that
ball, yeah.
game. That was the one-off game, and I think yes, if we play like we played in the second half of this game, and it is Miami, yes, we would get hurt, but we won't play that way against Miami because we know that any moment in time they're gonna try to hurt us. Or
that's more what I'm saying is like the second half was an outlier, and like I feel like we have shown that every game this season.
if
so
we go on the back
Well,
the
but-
last 3 games, even some that were ties, there was like domination for the most part, except for this one half. So if I'm going to take a sample size, I got 5 halves where we looked like a good team and 1 half where we didn't.
But we don't score past 65.
Yes.
yeah, that's a problem.
Number
It's every
6. Number 6 from Hey Look at Turtle 88. Still 3 points in crap weather. I'll take it.
Same point as point 1 I will highlight.
Yes.
He bookended it, man. That's what I'm talking about. It's just good writing.
He bookended it. Let's move on. Best start since 2010, which we had 10 games unbeaten. Agree? I mean, you don't.
I mean, I
Who
can't
said
not
agree?
agree with that.
You can't not agree. It's a
Fact.
It's a stat.
Hashtag.
It's a stat.
But
But
it has. It's not. There's no feels like in it. I mean, we have beaten 3 of the worst teams in the league or in the Eastern Conference, and 1 in Chicago, like DC.
yeah,
I mean, these aren't
strength
good teams.
of schedule is low.
It's
But also, I mean, and I hate to be like this, but like, who remembers the 2010 season? Like, right?
Felt like it should have been good. It was not.
I mean,
not
yeah.
being great.
08 was great. 09
was okay.
Oh no,
Supporters Shield.
Opine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Supporters Shield, but like I think we crashed out pretty early. So 2010 was like all kind of rebuilding. I don't know.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish. That's really
take it easy, more.
Well,
No, but-
saying this is the best start since 2010, I
Is
don't
a
know.
stat.
So let's read this. Let's read this comment from Pope Al Gore.
Shout out Pope Al Gore.
It's a
I saw
series
Al
of
Gore yesterday.
series of tubes.
And this is an
real life?
inconvenient truth,
Yeah,
by the
on
way,
a
what
golf
he
course.
says.
Yes.
He's a turtle.
He's
He
a
called
turtle.
the turtle Al
I
Gore.
did.
No.
Checks out.
No, That's Mitch McConnell. It's amazing how the team can be 4-0-3 and it still feels like they haven't left second gear. I'm not sure if Pope Al Gore means that that's a good thing or a bad thing.
It's still,
Is this a 3-gear motorcycle?
Yeah, how many gears we got?
Yeah, like are we trying to hit 5th or 6th or
normal is 6, right? I had 5
in
my Dodge Colt.
Normal's 5.
It's 5 or 6.
Then I had 4 in my Dodge Colt.
I like to keep my RPMs really high.
Bad.
I feel like that's what you want. To
You
get,
probably had
like,
a Dodge
really
Colt.
My parents
going.
had Dodge Colt.
Dude, we're the
So
same person.
let me tell you this. Haas came
the
up
yin and
to
yang.
see the crew play a couple years back and
shout out Haas.
Stayed at a hotel in
awake.
Evanston where none of the valets could drive stick. So he had to park his own car.
Right out front. They let me just leave it right out in front of the building.
I pictured
they had like
you
2
handing
spots
them the
out
keys.
front that are normally valet like pull through areas, and they're like, just leave it there.
All right. Hey,
Nice.
I got one. Hey, so I didn't share this because how do I like add something to the internet list that we talk about?
Control C, Control P.
So I got a DM on Strava from Caleb S.
Oh yeah.
So I think I said last week. Yeah, hit us up on Strava.
Did you say that?
I think I said DMs too. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
That may have been on Twitter, X.
This is
Instagram,
really just kind of a shout out to
Strava.
Caleb because he was asking, "What's the deal? What's the deal?" That's what he sounds like.
Yeah, no, say it. If you're gonna say what he said, you say it with your mouth like that.
With Nagby, do we know like what his timetable is? I know that like with Morera, they said it was like 10 days or whatever. Have we heard anything about Nagby's injury?
It says online that it's late May, but I think that's more of a standard thing they put in.
Wow.
In
What month is it now?
That's FOTMob making stuff up.
FOTMob does like
It's early
if
April
it is
right
an
now.
impact knee, whatever
Typical
else, and they put like
Norwegian.
Nothing has officially been said from the team
Yep.
or from Nancy, and
but FOTMob knows.
he was practicing on the side leading up
Oh, right.
to this
Yeah,
game
you
this
mentioned
weekend.
that. Okay.
Yep,
So that's a good sign.
very good
That's
sign.
as much
I have a-
information as we have.
I got a question for the club. If
Club.
we have
Day
to
to
sign
day.
one DP, would you rather sign a 6'8" DP or like a number 9/10 DP? Someone up top or someone in the middle?
Does
Because
it have to
I'm
be
th-
just one?
Yes, absolutely just one. So
I
if
know
we're gonna make
Million.
one
I know
signing,
DP spots.
I number 9.
it's like we've got because we got
Yeah.
Nagby. I think everybody's finally on my page where Shambo is in the middle as an advancing 8 type player, and we have Nagby or Zawadzki behind him. If we like Zawadzki in the back, which has been great, and Nagby goes down, I keep hearing at the beginning of the season, and I completely agree, we kind of need to get a Nagby replacement. I don't feel confident that it is Zawadzki. I feel like he is.
I don't think
an
this
awesome
is a fair
center
question.
back.
We are gutted. We have 2 DP spots.
more or
if
less.
we don't-
yeah.
If we shift some things around, we got 2 DP spots. We have plenty of
All
like-
of our U22 spots.
yeah. So I
4 of them.
this is not a decision we have to make. Sign somebody. Can we talk about the Twellman take?
Yeah.
Twellman says, can we like post a link to this or something? He just says like,
He said losing Kucha doesn't mean that Nancy
That's
lost
right.
its touch and doesn't know how to
Right.
coach all of a sudden and get this team to perform at a very high level. And they are currently, and we are obviously currently doing it because the West is a mess for the most part, and the East where we generally see most competition, we're on top of that table right now. Granted, Miami with 1 game at hand. So, I mean,
yeah,
Right. It's
so
interesting.
I want to.
Yeah, I don't think I can.
Back.
I don't think I can like post what he actually said, but so he was saying that pretty much like, yeah, losing Cucho is a bummer, but that the team is Nancy. It's not a one trick pony, one main player. So like losing him does stink, but you have Nancy, which is the most important signing in MLS.
Yes.
Hey, shout out. That's kind of correct, right?
I'm not really sure yet. We talked about this, about strength of schedule, etc. Our unbeaten streak here, win against Chicago, first game under Berhalter. Win against New England, 1-0, New England. Then we lost 3-0 against LA, not in league play. 0-0 against Houston, Western Conference. We beat LA 2-1, but it didn't matter. We tied San Diego, a good team, and we had a red card. And we were away.
Yeah.
Good performance.
Didn't they win 6-1 tonight?
Yes. Over DC.
No, that's San Jose.
San Jose.
My bad.
You get your Sands mixed up.
Different Saint.
Yeah. They won last night again.
But even still, that was a tie, and we only scored one goal. 0-0 against New York City. That was at home. Tie. 0 goals.
Pretty good team, yeah.
2-1 against DC. That was in DC. That was
just
good.
Barely lost today, 6-1 against San Diego. Or San Jose.
Yeah, right.
Make the playoffs, right, Ben?
So they got smoked by San Jose. We
I don't
won
know.
2-1.
I hate when people say like, well, we played a friendly game against Brazil and the world champions, so we are the best team in the world. That's kind of like that logic. It doesn't matter. You have to beat. I back to the from the internet. You have to just beat the teams ahead of you.
Yeah,
and some of those teams we haven't played that many games. That loss, if let's say they won that game against us, a lot of these teams will be spots higher, considerably higher.
Yeah.
So it's one of
Early
those things. You give teams losses, and they will be a little further down on the table this early in the season.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. I mean, it's like watching Ohio State early in the season, and they're playing teams that they're just literally trouncing and beating the crap out of.
Yeah, but we're not doing that.
Yeah, it's completely different in the MLS.
And that happens to Ohio State.
Nope. That's my point, though, is that like instead of saying these teams are really good and we'll wait to see what happens, there's not a signature win on our schedule yet to call this a great team or say this is a great beginning. We've been winning the games we need to win, ties, we're sitting good in the table. All that is wonderful. Let's see where we are at the break.
Yeah,
St. Louis will be
or even
pretty good.
No, St. Louis is horrible right now.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna do well against St. Louis. Miami, that's a total grab bag. Whether Messi's there, we're in Cleveland, yada yada yada.
Weather.
Trey, you mentioned see how we'll do at the break. I think it's a good time for that. We'll be right back.
This episode of the Upper 90 Club is brought to you, as always, by Supporter Supply Company. Hi, friends, this is your good pal Morgan Hughes, here to talk to you about a serious issue facing 96% of all crew supporters in Columbus. Why, not enough free shipping, of course. For a limited time now, through the eventual heat death of the universe, Upper 90 Club listeners can use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z on the end of it, at checkout for free delivery on absolutely any order over $10. But Morgan, what if I order $10 worth of stickers, or those goddamned buttons, or some other combination of small items that make you want to kill yourself? Will the free shipping still apply then, even as you curse our family, while you package up our little tiny annoying ass order for us? Of course it will. That's just how much we here at Supporter Supply value our friends at the Upper 90 Club. So head on over to supportersupply.co and use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z at checkout for free shipping on all your orders over $10. And don't forget to tell them that your friends at the Upper 90 Club sent ya.
Hey again, crew fans and other podcast listeners. I'm here to give you guys a review of what happened for the Crew 2 for the Columbus Capybaras on this past week. They played 2 games and surprisingly ended up with 2 completely different results. It's funny how that happens in soccer sometimes. And on the first game was against Lexington on Tuesday, April 1st. and that was probably the best competition on paper that the Cappies have faced in their history, because Crew 2 is a third division team, and they were playing against a second division team in Lexington. The game was held at LDC for the Open Cup, and the Cappies won 3-0 in their best game so far this season, in my opinion. They didn't dominate possession as they usually do in their games in Open Cup, not in Open Cup, sorry, on the MLS Next Pro, but they were lethal with their attack, which is what has been lacking in their other games overall. Which brings us to the game that happened on Sunday, which is today for me. They played against the Crown Legacy at home for the MLS Next Pro season home opener and tied 1-1. As it happens, for MLS Next Pro games, a tie goes to PK shootouts, and the winner of the PK shootout gets 2 points instead of the usual 1 for a tie. And unfortunately, Crown Legacy won PKs 4-3. If you haven't seen the goal that Tristan Brown scored for us, you gotta go check it out. It was beautiful, and he seems to be a really bright star, and so far, really the shining light for our attack. Unfortunately, Chase Adams seems to have gone a little bit cold to start the season. I expect him to turn this around, and I wasn't able to watch today's game because I was driving through Nebraska, as one does on a given Sunday. But I talked to other people who were at the game, and they said the team played well, and the stats really do backed it up. But we have not been clinical in the attack, and we had a lot more shots than they did. 17-7 with 7 on target to their 3. So it seems like that's the way it happened. We just have to, score in those chances. Thanks for having me again. And we will play against the Pittsburgh River Rounds for the Open Cup, 3rd round. We get a chance to advance again, playing another USL team. It's again going to be in Columbus, and I really hope to see people there and to see more pictures that we can share on the Cappy Bravo account. Thank you, and bye.
Okay, we're back. Thanks, Bird. Missed Bird last week.
Open Cup.
Getting robins that are building nests by my front door. 3 nests.
It's that time of year.
I know.
It's that time of year.
I didn't put
on. Tell them what to do, Bird.
Spring's wonderful majesty. Bird, we missed you last week. That was a tough shootout beat in the regular season, right? But we're still in the Open Cup.
Won a game. Yeah, Open Cups, we're looking solid.
We beat the Lexington South Carolinians 3, what was it, 3-0 or something?
At least. It may have been 4.
Yeah. Okay.
I like watching that stuff.
All right. Also, I want to do our rundown.
Yeah, it's a rundown. We're coming to town. It's a rundown. Okay. What we're going to do is a rundown. Down, rundown.
So this week we ran 1,015 miles. Ben had a great idea of figuring out, like, if we were to do a club relay, how far could we run from lower.com? And I did the math. This week we ran to Houston, Texas, everyone.
Wow.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
We ran to Houston.
The far, like, southwest Houston. Wow. Okay. Through the city.
Is that with a silent H, or do you pronounce the H or not? Houston.
Houston.
Is the Alamo in Houston?
No, San Antonio.
Ooh, hard to say.
No H in San Antonio.
That was St. Antonio.
San Antonio.
Haas gets his sands mixed up all the times.
Yeah, sands of time.
Francisco, Diego.
Okay. So yeah, shout outs for our key relay runners. You were watching a marathon today, weren't you, Mort?
I sure was. I had to get up at like 5 a.m. because we had to pick up the packet down in Xenia. Yeah, Xenia is like a little bit south of Springfield, Ohio.
Okay.
Home of tornadoes.
Yes, and
Great disc golf courses.
And you
down
know
there.
what? It's a
1977.
really quaint place. Actually, I kind of enjoy driving around there. So President was
What's that
running
movie?
her first marathon of the year.
Twister.
Okay.
Wow.
And we followed her around. I had the kid write like posters and stuff, and we stopped and cheered her on like 6 times. I mean, because you can drive around, it's kind of like it's a few hundred people running, like between
Right.
10K and half marathon, full marathon.
She probably finished what?
First.
Okay, cool.
Oh, really?
No, first of her. Well, she was second lady overall. There was like a 23-year-old that ran faster than her, and then it was.
We can take care of that.
Her, and she won the.
Was she running like masters?
She
or
won the,
seniors?
let's say, the 30 to 35-year-old class.
Nice.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, she was doing up in age group then?
Yeah. This
For
year
her.
she competed up
For her.
Yep. She just showed up and they just put her down at that because that's how
Okay.
she looks.
Yeah.
Home of Gummo.
Oh.
That's where Gummo was shot. Senior.
Actually, it's the city of hospitality because it says it on all the water towers around town.
The Houston, Texas of Ohio.
Yeah, but anyways, so now that was great. It was miserable.
Hospitality.
It was one of those, as I mentioned earlier. It was 54 degrees, feels like 29 or something like that when she was running.
Wow,
it was
the
pretty.
XG.
It was pretty miserable, but no, she carried through and
Dude,
and,
Prez.
won it.
Yeah, shout out to the Prez. She put up 44 miles this week. Paco, 47 miles.
Dang.
Just for fun.
KT, Kevin Thompson, put up 45. No one calls him KT.
Katie?
My sister Mindy put up 40 miles this week.
Hello, Mindy.
Dang.
Also in the 40-mile club, Greg. And Jane put up 36. Man, that's Jane's second 30. Second in a
I do
row.
notice some of these are going down. There must be people preparing for marathons that were like
Yes.
70 and they go into like 30. That means next week they're running a marathon.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I didn't even add the 12 I ran on in a treadmill. Dude, treadmill running is difficult.
It sucks.
You didn't put 12 miles on here?
No.
So we could
Iran?
have gone to like the border or something, or like
I wanted to hit the Strava app so it looked like I was going, because it like follows you as you're on the cruise ship, because I was doing it on the cruise ship.
Okay.
I don't
Was
know.
that when you were in Iran?
Mm-hmm.
Good one. Good one.
Solid as I rock.
Running and
I was ranning, I was rocking.
Could have made it to Galveston.
And also the Arrested Development. That was not lost on me.
Thank you.
Ben.
Finally. Thank you. Yes, I don't have to crickets it.
No,
Crickets
it's good.
it?
Crickets.
I think it's crickets. Okay.
Frick time.
Phil Cogley, 36 miles.
Phil did
Chris,
36.
Phil.
Chris at 32. Caleb S. Man, he knocked me out of 9th place. Caleb S with 32 miles.
Ha!
Nice week, Caleb. And I came in at number 10. 31 and a half.
31 and a half. Did you go outside?
That was the difference maker.
Yeah.
The weather turned. Well, actually, in truth, I thought the weather turned. I went out. I had planned to do my first 10 of the year.
Double digit.
And it was cold. It was
Single
windy.
digit.
And I miscalculated my blood glucose thing, and I had to cut it short.
Yeah.
So I only did 8, but 8 is like I don't do any 8s
when
on the
that
treadmill, so I ended up longer than I have been. So yeah, I was at 31 and a half.
Good job, dude.
Thanks.
Although I will say, if
Fun
you
week.
haven't, I did sign up in a month for the 024. If anybody wants to sign up for the 024, that is a quote unquote 24-hour race, but it's basically a 1 mile loop up near Cleveland. Messi won't be there. Lo siento. Pero. Basically, you just sign up and you run the same mile. It sounds boring, but it's a party. Like, they have a whole bunch of people that like camp out there, and they like play music, cheer you on, give you food. It's the easiest way to run whatever distance.
Whoa.
It's sanctioned too, so you get a lot of like big famous runners, which no one knows who they are, go up there and try to like run
A lot of big famous runners.
You know,
They're big. They're
I
famous.
also just said rummers, not runners.
I thought you said
Captain Morgan is there.
I thought you said drummers.
The captain is there.
What's
Tortuga.
Yeah. Is there an knockoff Captain Morgan rum? It's like Lady Bly or something.
Yeah, Lady Bly. Good job.
Wow.
Yeah, I drink a lot. Okay. Anyway, a great job.
What,
So
when
we're
is,
going
when
to
is that?
Houston.
Hold on. Ben, when is this?
It is, I want to say the 3rd of next month. I've ran
May?
it 4 times. Yeah. That's next month. Hey,
Colloquially
shut up, Haas.
refuse to.
No, it's this
If
month.
you're in Eastern
No,
time zone, next month will be May.
You never know with when we record these versus when they come out, what month it
You're
could
right. We might be rumming away or something.
Oh man. Hey,
be. Rumming hard.
I do.
No one says it. No one says that.
No.
Everyone says
Okay, so I do want to say this though, because I'm kind of new to the run scene or whatever.
New to crew.
I just want to say that something I'm going to do this year that I think is a good place to be in my mind is pick some races now. Like for people who run races, you're probably already doing this, but for people who are just kind of getting into it, check out what's going on in your, I mean, I think most people are in Columbus, but like, you know, look for a 6 mile or a 10K or look for a 5K or whatever.
Right.
And like,
Yeah.
I think having something to train for makes all the miles in the off weeks kind of more fun, more meaningful because you're working towards something. And
It's,
so
it's
that's
kind of
what
funny how the same setting goals, setting
Yeah.
goals makes it.
Go further away from the mic.
Yeah.
Keep moving further away from the mic.
He's rumming away
While
from
you're
the
talking.
microphone.
Sorry, my pillow fell down.
Say pillow.
You know, the one I sit on.
So
Yeah.
what are you? Say what you were going to
Continue.
say.
No.
Please.
So no, it's incredible what having goals do for you,
Mhm.
right? It's like that's why people have you set goals, so you will try to achieve that goal, and it's easier to get there.
Yeah.
I started setting goals in 2010, and it really helped me.
How's yeah?
Well,
Many
this is-
years ago.
This is the best we've.
I
this is
started
the best
setting
we've
goals in
done.
2010.
Was
and it
that one of
really
those
Now I
stuff?
have 3 children.
This is the best we've done since 2010.
All I know, I
it's
had
just-
Yeah.
I
one-
started setting goals in 2010. and
one
it really
goal I
helped me.
never had was start a podcast, but I did do
Same.
it.
All right.
Well, actually, I joined a podcast.
And I still plan on doing it one of these days.
Yeah,
But
we're gonna
yes.
turn it into our rum job. Okay.
I have to bleep that.
Hey, cards, where are you cards?
Yeah, that's
Give
a
yourself
card.
a card. Come on.
Yeah.
There you
That's
go.
what
There's the
Boyko
yellow
should've
card.
did. Card yourself, yeah. Courage yourself.
Okay.
And just check that glucose level too while we're at it.
I'm gonna
Ben, you
need
still
to
haven't
do
found
that.
my history. I get.
I'm gonna need to do that. I think we do need to look at the.
Just tables! Tables! But tables! I can't know how to hear any more about tables!
All right, in the Eastern Conference, we've got your Columbus Crew in first place with 15 points. Miami with 14 points, only 6 games played. Everyone else has 7. Philadelphia with 13, Charlotte with 13, Cincinnati with 13, Orlando with 11, Chicago with 11, New York, Red Bull with 11, and Nashville with 10. To wrap up the playoff standings, the Supporter Shield standings, we've got Vancouver in first with 16 points.
They look good.
Your Columbus Crew in second with 15. San Diego with 14. Miami with 13. And then all those other 13s we just talked about.
Yeah, Vancouver does look good.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was just looking. The goal differential between us and Miami is only what, one difference? They have +6. I thought for
They're-
some reason
they're
they
one
would be like,
game behind us, so
yeah, but I mean, and that could go either way. I've just felt like they would be putting up a ton of goals every single game, but not the case.
When do they make up that game and become even with the schedules?
The New
Whenever
England
Messi feels better and they can make sure they can make money.
There was the New England game that got postponed or something. No, there was one game that they got delayed, and
You know
then
what?
they moved the other game. Doesn't matter.
I've got a hot take for you guys.
Nobody cares.
No, I was complaining. I mean, maybe nobody cares about my hot take, and that could be and likely is true.
I care.
But we complained a lot about Miami having that game in hand.
We.
I did.
Yeah, I did.
I for sure did.
I mean, Trey, if this is where you reveal to us that you never weighed in while we were
Number one
complaining
Miami
about it,
fan.
like, that's fine. But like,
No. The we is you complaining
No.
about every podcast.
about the game in hand.
About the game in hand. Every single podcast.
Not game.
I
in-
was there.
I don't mean.
I was
ga-
there with you.
I don't mean game in hand. I mean when they front loaded their schedule first year.
Yeah, played
the league was totally.
That was
playing
only
messy.
me. Was I the only
No,
one
no.
complaining
You
about that?
were just the forerunner
I was
on it.
complaining.
You were
Okay.
you were the flag.
We
bearer.
all agreed.
Anyway, I guess what I'm saying is I don't mind having the crew in first place. Even though it's because we played another game.
A bird in the hand is better
Yes,
than
a game in a hand is like a game in a bush.
I think it comes up quick here. They play on the 9th
Bush League
versus LAFC.
They play in
and the
Chicago, don't they?
13th against Chicago,
Yeah.
and then the 19th against us. So I think that's where they make up that game.
Well, the game in hand is obviously about New England against New England because that's the only other team that is
They're-
have a game.
So that's
short.
middle of this week.
They're already saying he's not going to come. But
Take it easy.
Okay. All right.
They're
Trey out of
working on it.
yellow.
Trump?
Hey, so let's
I'm gonna.
what about our predictions tables?
Yeah, so in the safe confound of Lore.com, we all know that Columbus Crew beat Montreal 2-1. Nobody had that score, but everybody thought we would win. And I thought I was kind of like getting close after the 2-0 at half. I said, we're halfway there. I got to get 4-0. Mars, you were with me. But everybody got 1 point except Ben that got 2 points because he said 2-0. What's that
When
in
I
Spanish?
say tippa, do you say hat? Tibita.
Hat.
Dos
Hat.
a cero.
Okay, 2-0. Oh, I should have known that.
Yes.
I've been to 2 of them.
Yeah.
Well, what
We
that
finally
means
got
is
one other person on the pod predicting a correct score other than me.
But it wasn't a correct score. It was just a correct crew score.
No, it was a correct score, 2-1.
no, he had 2-0. So he got 2 points.
Oh, what the
Dos a
hell?
zero.
Yeah, he
Where
was a
are
zero.
you?
What the hell?
Donde está
2-0.
Lady Black?
Yeah, you're doing great, Haas. You're rumming away with
Get
it.
me out of here.
Doesn't matter because the only person that has 2 perfect scores is you, Haas, and you got
Perfecto.
9 points. So you're in the number 1 position. Ben is in second place with 4 points. I'm in third place with 4th place with 3 points. Mars still in the basement with 2 points, and Trey has 4 points.
Woo.
Should we do getting a correct score as 5 points?
No.
No.
What?
Wait, why?
No.
This
Who said
works.
that?
This
That's
What an
awful.
idiot.
Yeah, what an idiot. You want Haas to have like 15 points by now?
Yeah, don't do
I
that.
did.
Paid
hell?
me money to
I
say
want
that.
This was perfected by Tom Roberts. Let it be.
Rob Tom. All right, fine.
TPR.
Rob
Hey,
Tom.
before we move on, I've been thinking, and I have some
Are
serious
you going to
thoughts.
say what I just said?
No, I have really been thinking a
gonna
lot,
say what I
you
said
know,
last
about
week?
politics and what happened and all that stuff. And I was wondering, we need a DP. Do we have to pay tariff on this DP now if we bring it in
Yes.
for Europe?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's just good.
Is
Did
it
our
Unless he's
DPs
Russian.
just got 25 to 50% more expensive for us?
No, I think it's good.
But if we
The
bring
taxes
Sargent
on this.
home,
But if he's
we
good,
don't have to pay tariff on him because he's already
they're
American?
also saying Haji Wright. There's a lot of Haji Wright. I don't know if you guys have been on the internet today.
That's neither right or wrong.
Nope.
You haven't been?
But I just want to put that out there as we need a DP.
That's not. You save that for our thoughts and players. Uh,
I didn't get a word in. That's why.
Like in Russian, I think it's free.
We need to put our predictions out for. We have a game against St. Louis this Saturday. We're away.
That German team that starts 9 players that either are German or played in Germany, and it has a Danish coach, I guess, but
yeah, it's all the same.
But they're very, very German.
Yeah, probably.
So, what's their form been like?
Loss, win,
beats.
Win.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I thought they were
2 and 3.
Yeah, I don't think they're.
Yeah, they're not.
They have not been looking good.
I think they just said that since their hot start when they come in the league, after that they only had won like a handful of games almost. They have not been very good over the last year or so. They've been very bad. So
I noticed they had a lot of fans in Kansas City tonight.
Yeah, that a lot of people.
They took over a whole corner of the stadium with a, similar to our attendance, poor attendance in the stadium.
Well, it's the hell is real against a team
that's
that
their
have their own
natural
struggles in Kansas City. So
I think it's like a 3-hour drive, though. But
it's 4 hours. I know because I lived right in the middle.
Okay. All right. Well, are you guys ready to do your predictions for that? All right. Let's talk about D's.
I don't know. I thought I was.
You got to think about that.
I'm already sweating.
Man, I don't even know. Like,
buckle up, Buttercup.
My tongue is sweating.
I'm not good at doing things.
You're dumb.
All right. Let's see. Ben.
Oh, yeah.
You
I'm
said
the only one that's doing something different.
1-1 tie-dye Bill Nye the Science Guy.
You know it.
Okay. All right. That's a good road result.
It's interesting.
Mort, you said, like Nelly said, I am #1 St. Louis 1.
He's #1.
#1.
I am #1 Nelly. That's
No,
Nelly. He's
Nelly
from
said
the Lou.
hashtag.
He's from the Lou.
Pre-hashtag.
Yeah.
If I may,
No matter if you like it, I am
was still
#1.
a
But
pound.
not Slew is
We's
#1. We are
#1.
#1, and we're gonna win 3-1 away.
3-1. Okay. All right. Trey says 0-1. It's that time of the month, baby. I don't get that.
Is it?
Winning time.
I did think Tampa, a funny name would be Tampon.
Yeah, if it's that time month, is that because nobody scores? Kind of. That shirt is awful.
The jersey.
Yeah, I know.
Got it.
Okay. And
Okay.
Hawes.
Cat food?
Well played.
Hawes says 0-2 cruisers.
You know, cats.
Hawes says 0-2 cruisers.
Let's get to Mars. This is more, because I was like, I did it wrong. Wait a minute.
Yeah. I say 2-0. Crew get beaten.
Why do you hate the crew?
They lose.
To the Lou.
They haven't scored in 3 games.
Get ready. I'm in last place.
Yeah, nothing to lose
Yeah.
tattooed around your gun wounds.
Okay, so yeah, similarly to how I felt when I came back from vacation, the crushing weight of gravity to re-enter the real world. I think that this is the week when the crew have to look in the mirror and decide that they need to sign somebody. I don't know, guys. I'm not convinced by this team. I'm glad that they have done well. We have set ourselves up
That's what
very
Al Gore
well.
said. 7 left second gear.
Exactly. Well, but also for having gaps to fill in the roster, we have started this season in an excellent way, but also cautionary tale 2010. Right? Like we need to do better from a roster standpoint, and I do not think that what we're doing is sustainable. We're going to St. Louis. It would not surprise me if we lose. And also, I've got some points to make up in our predictions table.
Yeah, I was
so.
a nice speech, but
You're hedging your bet.
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably it.
Yeah,
Also, we should say that April 23rd is the cutoff for this the transfer window.
Yeah, they're not going to
for
do
2025.
We're not going to
So
sign anybody before that.
We still have.
They're not going to do anything.
I'm going to put some money on the table and say we're not going to sign anybody before that. We're going to sign somebody in the summer window. I said it the entire time.
That's so far away.
Yeah. Well, we did a great job in 2023 bringing in Rossi and basically winning every game after the League's Cup until we won the MLS Cup. So let's look forward to summer and let's keep on, squeezing as many points out of these early season games as we can. I really don't know what I'm going to do next week when we're talking about Miami in Cleveland, but I think for this one, this is going to be when the levee breaks. But anyway, anything else to add?
Agree to disagree is what I would say about that.
He's not going to come. He's not.
I don't think
everybody's going to go to Cleveland for a party and a good time, and he's not going to show up.
I'm
there.
hoping he doesn't, so I can get super cheap tickets.
Yeah, so you go watch your team play 2.5 hours away.
Sweet. Yeah, Tommy's expecting me up there.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, that's not sarcasm. Tommy is a good person.
And expecting.
He's also expecting.
He's 8
You've
months.
all seen Junior.
He can't drink, so he's my DD.
1997. I was supposed to say Junior.
Junior. It doesn't matter.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. Mort, are you going to St. Louis?
No, I'm not going to St. Louis.
Okay.
Is the guy still playing for St. Louis, or did he get?
No, he got traded to the Roadies or whatever they're called.
Rowdies,
something like that.
Okay.
I think.
I think they're called the Menace. That's what I learned last week.
So you play USL
Duluth.
now.
Yeah,
they're out.
Okay. All right. Well, until then, guys, go Crew.
Go.
It's Curtis.
Thanks everyone for joining the club. We hope you'll listen next week and every week, even in the off season, to celebrate or commiserate. We'll save you a seat. If you like this podcast, please give us 5 stars and subscribe. You can email us at upper90clubpod@gmail.com. That's upper90clubpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at upper90clubpod. Go Crew!
I definitely said wrong.
We know. We said it. I thought I said rum and you were making fun of me.
Oh, God.